The day's here, August 30th. Actually, no, it's currently August 27th, but you will be watching this on August 30th. Yeah, finally got my MacBook Pro in the other day. Got to work immediately. I had recorded a video of a haircut, mid-skin fade tutorial, probably like 2 days prior to that. Finally got a chance to go ahead and piece it together for you guys. I hope you guys enjoy it. Really excited for this YouTube channel, really excited to see where it goes and how far I'll take it. Yeah, things are looking good so far, I'm happy. So yeah, here goes, skin fade tutorial, mid-skin fade. Go ahead and like and subscribe and share it to your peoples. If they're interested in becoming a barber, send them my way. I'll be more than happy to help. Peace. So here we have a mid-skin fade tutorial. I like to start off with my Babyless Gold trimmers, create my zero line, teeth down. I like to start my fade, my first guideline, a little bit normal than your average mid-skin fade. This allows me to, 1, create a longer transition for a more natural look, and 2, gives me some wiggle room to work with in case I do get in some trouble where I have to adjust the fade. The line is a little bit harder to take out, I have that extra wiggle room to be able to take it out without sacrificing the entire haircut. Now, as far as how wide you make your steps for each guideline is completely up to you. I primarily base my spaces between guidelines on the amount of density that I have. So here he has very low density, so I don't make the spaces too wide between each guideline. Here I have my number 2 guard. I go down with the grain to keep the hair dark because I want a nice contrast between light and dark in my blends. Not making my blend very heavy. I'm stretching it out as long as I can throughout the entire space that I have to work with. And here I'm working down, not going past or above the area where the head starts to change shape. I'm trying to keep my fade square on his head. So here I'm setting up my last overall base around the head, and now I'm beginning my blend. Here I'm using a number 1 guard, and I start with the clipper open, going with the grain to continue to square it off, and this allows me to control the amount of weight that I take off. I don't overcommit by going against the grain. I work down, slowly closing the clipper until I get to a shade that I'm comfortable with. So here I opened it back up to show you guys, midway, taking a little bit more off. Then I close it all the way and finish it off. And I'm happy with that shade there. From here, what I'll do is I'll open the clipper all the way back open, and now it's at a 1.5, right? Because the guard is open, but I'm meeting up with my 1 closed with the grain. So I'm sort of passing the baton. It's like a relay race. Passing the baton, working my way down, focusing on that line and slowly getting it out. Here you can go back and forth between open and close, with and against the grain. Do whatever you need to do. Use the corner a lot of the time to remove any dark spots to avoid any other lighter spots that I don't want to dig into. And here I have it closed all the way, focusing on that line and getting any last little dark pieces. The next step is my 0 or half guard. Doesn't matter which clipper or guards you use, the principles apply. I start with my clipper open with the half to meet up with my number 1 closed. And there you really start to see the line come out and the fade start to come alive. And gradually close the clipper to remove that line. Start the process all over again on the next side. I repeat the same formula on all 3 sides, so that way I get the same results. My haircut looks more consistent and I develop a signature that way. I don't want my client's haircut to look any different the first time that I cut it to the last time that I cut it. I want to give them the same one every single time. Back to my 0 guard, open, meeting up with my 1 closed, and then gradually close it until I start fading away that half line. or the clipper open line. As you can see, the same process all over again. If you want to double back to the beginning of the video to see a step-by-step more in detail, to refresh your memory, you can go ahead and rewind and then drive right back to this point. Here you can really start to see the blends connect from side to side into the back. And I like using this 3-section method because it helps me control the overall fade and the shape of it throughout the entirety of the head, because everyone's head shape is different. So you can customize a haircut purely by using this method of using guidelines and breaking it up in 3 sections. Paying attention to the detail. Here's the website where you can find the Filthy Blends clipper mod for the Wall Senior. Put that Andis blade on there. It is the truth. Go out and get it ASAP. Here I use a Andis cordless clipper with a surgical blade, and this is where the fade really shines. This method allows me to control how long or heavy I want to make the skin fade. There I'm using the corner to get rid of any dark spots, control the fade. And you can see it's coming out real nice there. Repeat the same process on the next side. And then finish off the back. Look at that thing come together, man. Y'all stop playing with me, man. Come on now. Nah, but I'm not gonna cap. It took me a long time before I was able to fade like this, man. So for you new and up and coming barbers, listen, just stick with it. Don't worry about it. Your time will come. It'll feel like one day to the next. It's gonna feel like you were walking down the street and you found the book that said, oh, how to cut hair, great. So don't worry about it, man. Everybody goes through this process. Some people pick it up faster than others, but you worry about your time, you worry about your lane, and focus on you. Here I'm using a sponge to curl it up, and I like to use a pre-edge wipe-up solution. I use the glass solution from OG Walker. Go ahead and pick that up. It is amazing, better than any sort of spritz. It's not heavy, dries out the skin, removes any dirt and debris to create a nice foundation for you to hit your edgers. Now here you can see I use a method where I come down onto the line and I drag out. I don't push into the line. But I use this method if the grain of the hair is coming out towards the face. In this case, you can see his hair is growing towards his nose. So I come down on the line and I drag out. If his hair directional growth was going towards the back of his head, I would then push into the hairline to create my line. See, I drag down all the hair from the top of the line, and I'm starting in the corner to create my box, and then I overlap each stroke to create my line. And you thought I was gonna push it back there, but I didn't. You see that? When you have some sharp trimmers, you can pick up every little hair that you think isn't there and create a nice sharp line. So it's important to adjust your trimmers to a place where they are extremely sharp, but not too sharp to where you cut your client. Obviously, you want them to feel comfortable. Always use overlapping strokes. This will ensure a straight line. Here I use an enhancement. I use a cordless airbrush. I mix 2-to-1 ratio, 2 parts alcohol, 1 part color. I came upon this mix through trial and error. I figured out that by mixing it in this way, I can build up the level of darkness for the enhancement and not overcommit and have my guy looking like he put a Sharpie to his hairline. So it gives it a nice, soft, natural look. That's what clients want. That's what they pay for. Here, slapping a Dorco blade on a feather blade holder. I like it to be a bit exposed. Gives me a little bit more control. Depending on the skin type, I'll use a lubricant. In this case, his skin is not sensitive at all, and because there wasn't a lot of hair for me to edge up, there wasn't much for me to do too much detail work on. So I used very small, short strokes and got done with it pretty quick. Now you do your final detail work into the style and get that photo finish. And here's your sicko mode. Kind of reminded me of the sicko mode music video with Travis Scott. So yeah, let me know what you guys think, man. If you guys love it, hate it. If you like it, hit the like button. Go ahead and subscribe, share this video, share it to your channel. Thank you for watching, man.